Hey, if you're watching, give us likes, love, shares, all that good stuff. Please, 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 please. And let's get going. You bring us in.
Welcome to the show, Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. So on the bucket list is the Thanksgiving Cowboy game in a suite.
Oh, that's nice.
And I know it's going to be brutally expensive. In fact, I want to see if I can ask, can I get the John Madden six-legged turkey?
Yeah, the turducken, right?
Yeah. So anyway, that's on the list. Take the whole family. We'll go watch a Cowboys game from one of the suites with the Thanksgiving dinner and all that. You think that's 40 G's, 50? It's going to be small suite with like 20 people, and it's got to be.
It's going to be more than that.
You think it'd be more than 50 grand?
Yes.
Yeah.
With all that food that you want now.
Well, you got to do Thanksgiving there, so
I know.
I'm sure they got Thanksgiving.
Someone asked me because I'm a Giants fan. They're like, "Hey, do you want to go up and see it?" I'm like, "That is a big gamble."
Oh yeah.
Because if the Giants lose, then I've also given up Thanksgiving, which is a great holiday, right?
And then you're gonna be grumpy.
Ooh, that could be could have absolute reverberations for another 10 days after that.
Yeah.
Till the next Giants game. Yeah, no, not gonna go. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, so today's theme. What's today's theme, Rob? The
want is nothing without the how.
Yeah, I want this, I want that. Well, how are you going to do it?
I want $1 million. Okay. What you come here to do? What do you want? How much money do you want to make from real estate a year? $1 million. I'm like,
great. How are you going to do it?
Yeah.
In fact, how many of these rooms you go into where they've actually done that and kept their $1 million?
None.
There's a lot of people that have, I've wholesaled and I made $1 million. All right, you still got it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. I made $1 million, but...
You know what happens when people say that in our 3-day event when I start off on Friday night?
What's that?
I say, hey, you're in the room. I can't do that. I can't show you how to make $1 million this year. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you made $900,000 last year, I could probably get you an extra 10% of effort.
The best decisions of your life have gotten you where you're at now.
Right to now, yep.
So
what'd you make last year?
Oh, I made $200,000. Yeah, so you have to 5X.
5X.
Mm-hmm. In an industry you don't know anything about.
When's the last time you 5X'd anything?
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, exactly. It's super tough.
Yeah,
Can you do it over 5 years? Absolutely.
Of course, yeah. But it's hard.
But year one?
Yeah, I hate that answer. I hate that BS. $1 million. Like, yeah, you don't even know what you want. You have no idea what the taxes are going to be. You'll be lost.
I just dropped a deal into our mastermind group. If you guys are watching,
that's
redid the numbers on the self-storage because we're about to list it with a broker. So offering it to you guys, there's a $250,000 in equity day one.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. It's out there in the WhatsApp group.
Yep.
I'll probably have Rosanna send it out on the email. But if we don't hear anything from anybody by Friday, Bad Boy gets listed for $150,000 more to the public.
Yeah. Certainly worth joining the mastermind.
You can make $250,000 on one deal.
$250,000.
And those are conservative numbers. That's
very conservative numbers.
6.5 cap at 80% occupancy. There's $230,000 in equity.
Yep.
So there you go, guys.
So while many people may want that, they lack the how, right?
Yeah.
Got to get into this stuff. Got to start figuring out. It's one of the things that we try and do is what you're focused. It's like, what do you want to do? I want to do RV parks. I want to do ground up. I want to do commercial. I want to do self-storage. I'm like, boy, when are you going to have the time to learn all that? Well, I figured I would just, outsource it. Who's going to do that?
You're going to outsource a multi-million-dollar business. You know what? Rob, this is really interesting. Elon runs God knows how many companies.
Yeah.
Is he outsourcing? No, he's working 9,000 hours a week.
Of course. Yeah. So we got to get you focused and got to get on the reality. And then you got to start figuring out what you want. And then when you figure out what you want, how are you going to do it? It's a big one. And then how long is it going to take? Big stuff. It's just not pie in the sky stuff around here, right? It's just real numbers, real understanding, and then you got to do the real work.
Got to do some work. So many folks go, oh, well, and it's fine. If you don't want to do the work, you're passive.
Right. The 8 to 12%, right?
You're passive.
You're in the 8 to 12% world.
I got hit with an ad on Facebook for a storage facility. They're trying to hit. Their target IRR is 20%. Their target IRR is 20%.
Yes.
I've got notes that do 18. I'm like, dude, that's so easy. So you know what? When they say target IRR means we're probably about half.
Yeah.
That's really what that means.
Well, we've talked about it before, right? Why every family office needs to make 15%.
Right.
Because half the time they don't
make anything.
Yeah.
Well, and I've had enough drinks with guys in the last 6 weeks. And they've all said this to me. The serious
Sure.
Let me put it this way. The folks that are serious investors that are willing to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I know when people are lying to my face at this point. Like, you're lying to my... Because I'll get somebody that says, oh, I'm invested in such and such a deal. Well, how's that going? Oh, man, it's going great. Wow, that's weird.
Because I know some other guy.
Because I know a guy in the exact same syndication.
He's not saying that goes okay.
He's not saying that. In fact, why would he lie to me about the capital call he's about to get because your cap insurance just blew out?
Oh, that's funny.
Why would he lie to me that your taxes have gone up 50% and your insurance has gone up 20% and you're not cash flowing anymore? Why would that guy lie to me? He wouldn't, right? He's crying in his beer, and yet you tell me everything's going well. I'm like, come on, dude.
That's the big fear, right? We talk about that all the time. It's the embarrassment. The fear of embarrassment is so more powerful than most things, right?
It is. It's amazing.
You don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, and what that really is, the ego getting away. If you had we had this fascinating conversation during lunch. And this is
a little less ego. Yeah.
A little less ego. It was this amazing conversation where a colleague of ours is in trouble with a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know, but we sit there and we go, hey, man, if you don't change, this is going to continue.
All right, first step, right? Admitting you have a problem.
Or even if you don't admit a problem, just say, man, something's not right, guys. I mean, is it me? Is it how my business is run? Is it how I manage my relationship? Like, what is it that I keep continuing to have this result that I don't want? A little introspection.
Yeah, well, we go back to last week. We just talked about the real basic stuff, the cash flow quadrants. Where do you think you're at? You think you're a captain of industry over here in the B, and you're not. You're a solopreneur.
Yeah, dude.
You don't have anyone working for you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's where most of the people are, and they do well.
Yeah.
They can do very, very well, but the reality is, like, hey, you said that these 7 people showed up to this thing, and I'm like, well, that guy owns a business, and that guy almost owns a business, and the rest are solopreneurs.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like,
But there's a big difference between, a small business like ours and what Elon's doing.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if you don't recognize where you're at in the quadrants, you're going to wind up making a whole bunch of mistakes.
Right.
If you're a solopreneur but you think you're a business owner, like you've convinced yourself that you're a business owner, then you make a whole bunch of mistakes because you're not in the business owner category.
Right.
That becomes huge. People, convince themselves they're so much bigger than they really are and all that stuff. And we had that. What was it? The Schedule E challenge. What was it?
Oh yeah, I'm
glad
came
we
out
didn't do it,
a little over a year ago. Here's what I did.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
I sent an email out, multiple emails on our email list. I got on the radio show. If someone wants to give us advice, send me your tax returns.
Yeah, I want to know.
And we'll send them to our CPA.
Right.
And our CPA obviously has ours. Now he has yours.
Yeah.
And we'll know if I should be taking advice from you. Because the guy that's my trainer, it's pretty easy. Takes off the shirt. Guy's huge and shredded.
Yep.
Who do you want to look? I want to look like that guy. Yeah. That's his resume. You send me your resume. So I said, send me your tax returns. I'll be happy to compare notes. Everyone signed up on the email list like, oh my gosh, I want to see this challenge. It's going to be so awesome. Nobody took us up on it.
Yeah. Hey guys, we'll be right back. Hang tight. Yeah, no one.
All right, ready to go?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Nobody took us up on the challenge.
No one. It was funny though because a lot of people had. It's always good. I told you yesterday, I got a call from a dude in California.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you calling me? He's like, I saw you on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Same thing. I remember I was teaching somewhere, and someone came up to me and was like, hey, your partner's Jason. I'm like, It's like, I love that you called all those guys out. I'm like, what are you talking about? I know, what time? Which instant are you talking about? And she said, you want to show them the tax returns? I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because if somebody really does better than me, I'm like,
show me how.
Show me how, dude.
How did you get this deal? How'd you figure it out, right?
I am willing to learn how to become more successful. I don't want like we know a flipper, right? Same guy.
Flipper.
Yeah.
And clearly, he's got wholesalers bringing him deals, right? We don't have that level of high end or decent flips coming to us.
Yeah.
However, I also know other stuff, and I'm like, well, this it could have been a good deal, or maybe it would have been a good deal, but I don't know that we're putting eyeballs on that stuff. So I'd love to see those numbers on those deals, because I'm sure we can reach out to some of those people and get those deals and be doing $600, $700 million flips, right?
Yeah.
And I'm open to it. I did it in Malibu. I did it in California. I did it in the beach communities. I did it down in Orange County. I could do it again, right? But I don't have those connections. So yeah, I'd like to learn. But first, I need to know: are they really deals?
Are you really making money?
Are you really making money, or are you just keeping yourself in business for 2 years?
Yeah. Or are you shooting your mouth off on social media?
Well,
right?
yeah, that doesn't bother me. Everyone does anyway, right?
Well, that's fine, but it's like,
well, I just want to know
like,
the
just
reality.
show me the numbers.
I just
Yeah.
want to know: are you just paying for your job? Like, because that's what a lot of contractors do, right?
Right.
They flip 2 a year, and I could easily walk away from all this tomorrow and just me and my wife flip 4 houses a year, right?
yeah, you
We
easily
would
make
be
200 grand a
fine.
year
Yep,
doing that.
It'd be great.
Easy.
Yep. Don't want to. Not
Yeah.
what I'm looking for. Don't want to keep working. So I just want to understand. It's like, hey, that sounds great. Would you just mind sharing the real numbers?
Right.
Right? Did you set up a separate LLC and a separate bank account? Because we can do a real quick little balance sheet look and figure out what we got.
Yeah, just send over. I mean, you could send over your books. It takes 2 seconds.
But nobody wants to have that conversation.
No, because it gets.
Because that's why I'm saying we keep operating at the high school level.
Yeah.
Because we've sat down with guys who've showed us their legitimately 1,400 door portfolio. We're buying another 300 unit. This is how we got it financed. This was the primary finance. This is the secondary finance. And I brought in A and B and C levels, and I did all this stuff. Then I wrapped it up, and I did a refi out with Genesis, that was bought by Goldman, and I did all these. I'm like, wow, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Open right up, right?
Here is
excited to show us.
Yeah, they were like
excited.
No one ever asked us
No one
for
ever asked.
this.
Let me show you what we're doing.
They want the stupid pictures in the private plane. I'm like, I don't care about that. How did you get that done? Let me bring all the books.
Yeah,
they bring the binder out, right?
Crank up, put the projectors. Like, look, we did this.
Yeah, I got the project binder. I'm like, I really don't want a 6-inch 3-ring binder. But I'm like, okay. So, well, and that's what I found too is like the folks that are really, really successful in this business. They don't care about the ego. Like, you guys tell me how we can do something better here.
Right.
Like, we're all about making more money,
That's right. Yeah. And so we want to know the how.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we have a lot of wants around here. Trust me. But it's the how, right? So, hey, if we're going to do some flips, well, how are these guys getting good deals? Right? Is it just really, really hard negotiations on the MLS? Is there really some guys out there bringing these deals? We look at the deals. We have to negotiate hard with the wholesalers. I mean, where are we coming from, right? And is it worth the effort, right? Is there going to be a return on that effort put out? And if there's not, then, okay, I got it. Solopreneur, you're just going to keep your job going. I get it. Yeah, I totally understand that. But, again, it's kind of hard to know that when you're beginning, right? Yeah. When you're walking into that room and people are just talking about, I just sold this house, I made $1 million, and of course, gross or net, we teach them basic questions, gross or net, how long it take you, what was the real return, did you use your own money, did you have partners, right? Hey, we made $300,000 on that flip, great. How many partners do you have? 6. Ooh, so you made 50? Well, yeah, my portion was 50. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, how much, did you do all the work? I did a lot of the work. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Got
it's
it.
Decent.
How many did you do that year? One or 10?
Yeah.
So you got to dig in, and that's what we're about. We're really transparent on this stuff, and sometimes, right? I was again 2 weeks ago. It's like, Rob, you're too transparent. I'm like, I am not. I'm just going to tell you how it is, and this is how I see it and what we're doing. But again, folks have got to come in and learn the how. And you learn the how by asking the real questions. You just don't get mesmerized by people who say they made $1 million, and maybe they did, maybe they didn't, right?
Yeah, they'll be happy. I mean, if you really want to compare notes, and let's compare, you actually have to show the notes.
Yeah, bring your notes too, right?
Yeah, bring your notes. Let's see.
Well, that's what we do. We sit down with our mastermind. We have this sort of come to Jesus meeting. It's like, okay, we're going to put all our cards on the table. I know what you said in that room, but here's the reality. And then I usually go first. This is how much debt I carry. This is what I have going on now. This is how much money I have in the bank, and this is how much my portfolio is worth. I've shown you mine. Now show me yours.
Yeah.
And that, I break the ice that way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. It's like, yep. You can go ask Catherine. She'll tell you exactly how much debt we're carrying right now.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it. So that's the type of thing that you have to have real conversations. And I got to tell you, that is probably my most frustrating thing in the Houston market is I don't think it takes a lot to have an honest conversation here. Mm-hmm. When I was in California, it was easy. People would just whip out the numbers, show it. Let me pull up my spreadsheets. Yep, here it is. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do it. And I don't know what's weird about it.
I think in the single family real estate market, the California investors are way more professional and mature because I think the barrier to entry is much higher.
Much higher, yeah.
But where I find that, and you and I have joked about this all the time, like I feel like we're playing high school in single family. But when I look at commercial deals, when I work with commercial brokers, it's like I'm back working in biotech, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, man, this is how it works. Yeah, give this guy a call. He'll get you this, and this is what we did on this last deal, and I'll send you over the spreadsheet. And you're like, wow, this is like adults. And in single family, it's this. I haven't come up. It's not the $30,000 millionaire. It's not that, but it's that mindset. It's that I'm gonna hustle till I make it nonsense. It's that
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, it's that fake it till you make it. It's the
otherwise known as fraud.
Yeah.
AKA fraud.
Oh, speaking of fraud. If you guys are watching the FTX debacle, so second largest at one point, it was the largest crypto exchange in the world.
Did it get delisted yet, or is it still out there?
You can trade it. It got as low as $3, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Went from 30 to 3 pretty quick.
I mean, Jason, you buy low.
That's right. Yeah, you buy low and sell high. What's interesting is the rumor out there is he mismanaged customer funds. He also made some quotes with the G word about loans to the company using the G word.
Can't do that.
And it was no risk. So.
That you said that, yeah.
I did. So the SEC is about to get real uncomfortable.
Did he take off?
They don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He was the second largest donor to the Democrat Party behind Bloomberg.
There you go.
Like, that's how powerful this guy was.
Not anymore.
What they're saying is he may or may not allegedly mismanaged company customer funds. Oof. If that's the case,
last time I read there was 630 million missing.
Yeah, it's some number out of 16 billion. I mean, it's kind of a rounding error, right? But the interesting thing is he, if that's the case, he bailed out a lot of other cryptos, a lot of other companies. So what a lot of people don't understand is when a company has made money by what the federal government calls ill-gotten gains, you then have to unwind all those transactions. Mm-hmm. So let's say I'm not going to bring up. There was a company in Houston. I think they've already indicted them. Yeah. Who was doing some shady stuff with mortgages, who were calling themselves investors, and they were they're doing all kinds of stuff. Anyways, there's 5 or 6 of them, and they've already announced they're indicted and all that other stuff. Here's the crazy thing. Because they can't distinguish what good money is from bad, they have to unwind all those transactions.
Yeah, it's impossible. Hey, hang tight, guys. We will be back. There's a lot of ways to make money in real estate, and there's even more ways that people tell you how you can make money in real estate. But what it really comes down to is making wealth. And here's what our mastermind simply asks. If you're between the ages of 35 and 60, you've got to carve out 5 years. And we're asking you to stop and for 5 years to take some really acute focus. We are in the best market in the entire country to do this. This is generational wealth. But the first thing you have to do, listen to me, it's 10 houses. You got to go get them. Once you got them, then the world changes for you. It is almost that time of the month where we're going to sit down and do 3 really intense days of real estate education. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about how to find the deals. We're going to talk about how to find the money, how to find the right contractors, how to find the right property managers, how to set up your portfolio and create your LLCs and S-Corps. We cover all of that in an event called Complete Real Estate Investing. And it's Friday night, and it's Saturday, and it's Sunday. And you can just click here and hit the link, and you can sign up for our 3-day. Yeah, let's go back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Mastermind Hour. I have a rock star, and she is a legit rock star that we have a connection to, that I'm going to ask to record.
Okay.
A little 15 seconds.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. She's legit. When I tell you her name off the air, you'll absolutely know her.
Okay.
Yeah, so, again, if you're new and you're trying to figure all this stuff out, well, first let me plug. Hey, this is Wednesday night, and we got our weekend event coming up on Friday night. Go to mrtxrei.com. Check it out, a whopping $97. It's about 30 people already signed up, so we got about 10 more spots left, and we got 2 big nights here, Tuesday and Wednesday, so we will probably pack the room. We will probably be sold out. So if you're interested in coming, go to mrtxrei.com. Check it out. But if you're a beginner or if you have 1 or 2 properties, you've got to come to this event because it's so hard to get people to share openly and honestly in an environment that isn't like, I use the word pedantic. Professorial. It's like, hey, man, this is how you're going to do it. Go out and do it. Tell me what you want. Let's go figure this stuff out. Versus, well, have a seat, Robin. Let me explain this to you. I know you're not from around here, and I'll have to teach you. It's like, go away.
Teach me. Yeah, and you're like, teach me what?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to understand.
Understand.
Back in my day, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you haven't bought anything.
Oh, that's right, Rob. You weren't here for the tax day flood. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
What is that? What does that,
What does that mean?
My favorite is you weren't here for the real estate crash. Well, you know what? Before that, you weren't either.
Yeah.
There was never an event like that in the history of real estate. So I'm like, okay, so you could tell me how dinosaurs ruled the earth.
Yeah. No, I was at the real crash. Yeah.
The real crash was in California.
Antelope Valley. Yes.
Yeah.
Go look at those numbers. Absolutely.
It is comical when you get the Houston, particularly Houston guys, like, well, you don't understand. Back in 2008, I'm like, this market lost 5% of value. Phoenix lost 50.
Yeah.
There was no crash here. Stop your belly can get to work. Yeah. It's like there was this big crash, and there's going to be another big crash. 5%, bro. Yeah. You know what that's called?
What was it, 18 months, 24 months?
Maybe, if that. Less than 18 months.
Yeah.
You know what a 5% reduction in values is? Yeah. It's called winter.
Yeah, it's a hiccup.
It's like, come on, dude. People were killing themselves, physically, like ending their lives.
Well,
in Southern California.
I knew the Phoenix story. There was a big real estate gala on a Friday night, and the number one hard money lender in Phoenix was at that and got an award. And he owned a really big house that overlooked the valley. And he went home and he drank a really good bottle of scotch and blew his brains out.
Really?
And on Monday morning, when everyone heard the word that the guy had killed himself, because of and then they started piecing it together, it was just massive panic.
Yeah, because he knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming. He had gotten the calls, and he couldn't cover. And he's like, "Okay, this is it."
And too old to start over.
Not interested in riding this wave.
Where you take 50 to 60% losses.
Yeah, not interested.
Let me explain what 50 to 60% losses with leverage means. You lose everything.
Yeah.
Everything to so we early on in our career, and I won't tell you who it was. We had a developer in our office. This guy, let me put it this way. Not like the clowns you meet at the RIA Club. This guy's suit probably cost more than your Lexus. I mean, it was one of those kind of meetings. And I'm like, what are you doing in here? And he said, I lost so much money. I've got to build up private capital again, but I've got all the contacts and everything else. And so I said, and he goes, I know you guys can raise private money, right? I said, yeah, we can do that. And he said, maybe y'all can come in, you get a little development experience and help me raise X number of dollars. And I'm like, we could probably put a little syndication together, do something. I'm like, I don't know. That sounds like kind of a cool deal. Anyways, so we had to know each other. And I said, how much did you lose just in your personal cash? Like your cash that you had in deals? And he said, $18 million.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, jeez. He goes, when you win big, he had a plane too, right? He goes, when you win big, you lose big. I said, okay, I got you. But it's that joke where it's like, well, I've seen it crash and I've lived through it. Bro, you're here. You haven't
have no
seen
idea.
Jack.
You have no
you haven't
idea.
seen Jack. Look at Florida. Look at Phoenix. Look at Vegas and SoCal. Those are crashes.
Oh, that's crazy.
A little 5% hiccup over here, that ain't a crash, dude. Come on. But
So-
anyways, they want to lord that over you, like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
I'm the
know.
only one
Oh,
that
you
can
are-
guide you through this
It's
marketplace.
always the tax day flood.
Oh, is it?
You weren't here for the tax day flood, were you? I'm like, no. I'm assuming it rained a lot and
Sounds like
flooded.
it was on April 15th.
Yeah, it was somewhere around April. Yeah. Okay, now what?
Yeah.
What did you glean from that I didn't learn in the other floods?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Nothing.
The city floods.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Buy flood insurance.
Yeah,
Ride it out. I don't know what to tell you.
I understand. I understand. Once you have the money, this is my new philosophy. Once you have the money, get the health. Once you have money and health, find your real purpose. Because there's a lot of guys with money who have no idea what their purpose is.
I have.
And they're wandering around in like a cloud, and they
Yeah.
just can't escape it. It's like, you're telling me you made all this money. What are you doing here, dude?
I will tell you, you want to find the most. They're not depressed. They're happy people, but the most maybe confused and the most
Unsatisfied, maybe?
That's a good way to put
Yeah.
it. You want to find the most
Unsatiated.
unsatisfied, boring people on the planet. It's a lot of really wealthy folks, and you kind of wonder, like, so I mean, that's a good way to put it. Unsatiated, right? That was my big worry. Like, wait a minute, is this car not enough? And then it's this, and then it's like this plane's not big. And I get there's some of that's natural. There's a natural progression there. But the problem is if you're always hungry, then it's like where does it end? And you could take this in a lot of directions of your life. You know, you're constantly upgrading people and things, and it's
Yeah, but then you get into that risk world, right? Where you start making some stupid stuff, and it's like we say, you'll make a fortune just doing the boring stuff and then stop.
yeah.
Right? Just do the boring stuff, get your 10 houses, stop.
You know, I had a former partner of mine, and he had said something really. He was in banking and worked with a lot of really, really rich folks. And I said, well, how do you keep from going crazy? Because he said, there comes a point, he said, every man is like this because we're designed to drive and perform and all that stuff. And he said, here's the problem. At some point, there will be some level of money where you realize you can do anything you want and nobody can tell you no. And he said, that's a very dangerous place. He said, the guys that have been able to mitigate that, keep that at bay is you essentially have your two bank accounts. He said, this is the easiest way to do it. It's a little more complicated than this, but I'll just for radio, make it simple. There's what you got in your little checking account.
What are you saying about our listeners?
Well, no, I want to make it. We have 50 LLCs, right? So I'm like, let me just make before we get into all that, make it as simple as possible. You've got the money that you live on. Mm-hmm. You're going out on vacations. You're doing nice stuff. You've got your nice little car. Maybe you got a couple cars, whatever.
Sure.
And then you got this big pile of money over here. But that's never yours. It's the, quote, company's money.
Yes.
Like it's my S-Corp's money. You don't ever touch it.
Never touch
because otherwise, you're just making so much money. It just goes, you just do stupid stuff with it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
You can go down that dark hole of vices, right? That's really what he was saying. Is like
I've
that
watched
world.
people, I'm like, yikes. Just a little bit of money.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit of money. I'm like, yikes, what are you doing?
When we do the VIP stuff in Vegas, I look around. I'm like, I'm not a prude to the Vegas
Right,
scene,
yeah.
but I'm like, this
I'll
is
pull
crazy.
an arm here and there, throw some money on a blackjack.
Yeah,
this
but
is nuts.
this is crazy stuff you see in a club, and just like this is bananas. Like there's got to be at some point some level of restraint. But anyway, long story short is you don't necessarily want to be the guy that's super rich if you're not having fun and doing cool stuff and have some kind of purpose in life. I mean, do you really need to go to one more bottle service? Do you really need another fancy vacation? It's like, a couple times a year, cool, but
yeah.
to see the same beach everybody takes a picture of on Instagram, like I don't get it.
I was once invited to the Grammys, and I could have basically went to the Grammys and then hung out at Bono's party.
Oh, that would have been fun.
And it was X amount of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
This guy who was part of the organizer of the Grammys, whatever. And I was like, nah,
I'm good.
don't need that.
Yeah.
So, hey, hang tight, guys. We'll be back. That guy had all the award shows. He's like, you want to go to the Oscars? I'm like, no. I was like, I want to go to the after party. He's like, well, that's part of it. $10,000, I can get you into the Oscars and get you to 3 after parties because he helps organize some things. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm good on that. It's not my purpose. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. All right. So, man, those sea turtles are calling me. We got to get some things going here. I just watched a video
Yeah.
of like because they're slow movers, so like they get caught with barnacles and I forget that little mollusk thing that drills into their. And there's guys just take a little butter knife and they just crack the stuff off there.
Oh, that's funny.
And you may not recognize it, but I have a little bit of OCD.
Yeah.
When it comes to something like that, it needs to be clean.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, that is my purpose in life. I will
Cleaning barnacles
clean
on turtles.
live turtle shells for the rest of my life once I get my personal financial numbers right to where they need to be.
We had a blast saving turtles in
Digging them up, but this
Playa.
guy is just cracking them off, and then you think it all looks good. Then he turns in the underbelly, and it gets you like really sick. You're like, oh, you got to get it off. Got to get it
Oh,
off.
it's funny.
Yeah.
We had a good time with the turtles. We didn't think we were going to find any, but yeah, they're like you pull them as babies. You pull them right out of the sand. They're flapping away,
Yeah,
like
so
trying to get
they
out.
Get a little
so.
huckleberry fin on you.
Yeah, and those are the what do they call them? Are the green turtles the real big ones? I think they were the real big ones. They get to the size of like the hood of your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, they live like 1,000 years, but anyway, yeah, we had a blast doing it. We'll probably do it again.
We're definitely signed up for another cruise. I think we're going to open this one up to the public.
Oh, after the mastermind folks fill in.
I think so. Yep.
So if you guys are in the mastermind, you might want to join the cruise for next year. It's going to be a ton of fun. Since we've gone to these ports a couple of times, we're starting to really like figure out kind of the, where to go and what to do, like our favorite things to do. So I got another one, a New Year's cruise with all the kids. So that'll be fun. But
And we're going to Arizona this year with the mastermind.
oh, that's right.
So we're
Go to
getting close
Scottsdale.
to locking in, but it'll be Scottsdale. And if you want to go golf, you'll come out a day early. We'll do 2 hard days of mastermind. One night we'll go to the casino, and then we'll stay an extra day for it's a beautiful spot, right? So take advantage
gorgeous.
of it. So
And the golf courses there, even when they have houses on them, you can't tell the houses are there because they build them the same color and they try and keep them
built in,
matching with the landscape.
maybe we can hike Camelback one morning.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be in June. It'll be a dry heat.
It'll be a little hot. That's why there's pools and stuff. And well, I'm like, hook us up. But that should be fun. And we can definitely bring the cameras out for all that and that'll be some really good video from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then we'll have 2 events here. So we meet 4 times a year. We're going to help you get your portfolio going. We find deals, find the money, find the contractors, find the property manager, show you how to set up your LLCs, all that good stuff. It starts at a 3-day event, which is this weekend. Come on out. Go to mrtxrei.com. It's a whopping $97. Hope to see you there. I'm just about done here.
$250,000 in equity on one property. I'm just looking at it. If you paid 100% cash for this thing,
Self-storage?
yeah. If you paid 100% cash for this thing, it kicks off almost 10% in 100% cash. So leverage, I can sit there, I can figure out what the leverage number is, but it's pretty sick.
If you're not getting triple-digit returns over a 5-year period and paying no taxes on it, you're investing in the wrong thing. That's what we do at our 3-day. That sounds pretty good. Hey, this is Robert with Mr. Texas Real Estate. And if you're not investing with triple-digit returns over a 5-year period with no taxes, you're not investing in the right type of product. Anyway, guys, when you run the numbers with cash-out refis, you should be getting triple-digit returns over a 5 to 7 year period. Now, it takes time because you're going to get a lot on the back end, but that's what we keep talking about. That's what we talk about internally to our mastermind members. It's like, well, the cash flow is only $150 a month. I'm like, look at the equity. You're putting in 42 and there's $60,000 worth of equity. You've already made 100%. This is the type of things we do in real estate, and we'll be talking about it at our 3-day event. We're excited. I think, man, we got a lot of crews working right now. Things are happening a lot faster than I thought. I was like, hey, when are we going to start that roof job? He's like, it's done, and the engineer has already signed off on it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, hey, where's my check? And you're like, what?
Good. Let's bill that guy. I'm like, hey, put that bill out there. Let's go.
That's funny. It's about time.
Yeah, it's finally moving now. Yeah, it's feeling
About
good.
time.
Yep.
I think you've really got to sit down. This is one thing I started. I think I'm going to get to the point with everybody in the mastermind. I'll tell everybody this weekend. I do that session on the 3 biggest risks.
Yeah.
So I think to counterbalance that, I'm going to do the 3 things you should be doing in your life every single day, and the 3 things you shouldn't be doing. And one of them is stop watching the news.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is a waste of your time.
Absolutely.
Don't wake up with the Today Show. Don't read the garbage online. Like, just turn it off.
I spend about 6 minutes every morning going through the AP wire.
I think that's a reasonable. You kind of check
6
in.
to 10 minutes. Hey, what's
All right,
going
that's
on? Oh,
fine.
that's interesting. That's okay. Yep.
But when I hear from guys, Jason, did you see what Biden did
See how much
today?
they pay those ballot counters, and they still haven't come up with the results. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
yeah,
All right.
I got that over the weekend.
Well, no. This is the way I'm looking at this whole election thing. How many times have our checks been stolen for our companies in the last year?
7 times.
7 different times. We've shut down 7 accounts.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, whoever's doing it, you guys keep putting my name on the checks, which is a huge red flag because I don't sign any checks around here.
We
Rob
don't
does.
sign anything, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, they've gotten a couple of bucks out of us, right? Well, I mean, the bank just reimburses us. But anyway,
It gets cut off real quick.
it gets cut off. It's no big deal. But I'm sitting here and someone says, well, Jason, do you think these elections are safe? I'm like, if little old Jason Bible can't send checks through the mail, then guess what? Yeah. Those provisional ballots, the mail-in ballots, they're just as easy to compromise. So when people get all worked up, like, do you know what this is going on? I'm like, yeah, system's rigged. Now what? That's what I love. I'm like, let's get past it. System's rigged. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to take up your musket and head to Washington, D.C., or are you going to do something else? Because that ain't going to change anything either.
Musket.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same nonsense, right?
You're not going to do anything.
You're not going to run for office.
No, you're
not going to build a pack.
Complaining. That's what they're about.
There was that gal that I think she's here in Houston that started that. She goes, look, it's not Democrat, it's not Republican. We're just trying to get free and fair elections. So they do a lot of turnout the vote. They do all kinds of stuff. Since she started that organization, her husband owns a gun shop.
Yeah.
But he does like custom manufactured stuff. Like it's highly regulated.
Yeah.
The ATF and the IRS have been at their house and their place of business a number of times per year since she started that. So she's on some list somewhere. And what I find fascinating is everyone talks about like, we're persecuted and we can't say. I'm like, this woman gets audited every year where they didn't before. The ATF, literally the ATF agents have shown up to their home and place of business and go, I don't know why we're here for the 4th time this year.
Yeah.
Now, the funny part is she goes, every time we get audited by IRS, we find out they owe us more money. And she goes, they just give us a check back, which is
I'll do
hilarious.
something on the other side of the coin, right? It's like DeSantis wanted to make this big stink in Florida about, arresting the voter fraud guys. And these guys who were convicted felons went to a thing, and the guy at the poll booth said, yeah, you can vote. So fill this out. Guy fills it out. Next thing you know, 6 weeks later, he's getting arrested.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, I have no idea what we're doing here. He's like, you filled out a form somewhere. You weren't supposed to. He's like, the person told me to do it. He's like, listen, this is just a process. You're not going to jail. You're going to go down there. Someone's going to pay $75 and you get to go home. But, well, lo and behold, we caught the voter fraud, right? And it's same nonsense on the other side.
Oh, no, there's voter fraud. I think you would have to be completely intellectually dishonest not to say there isn't. It's way too easy. It's way too easy. So
I would say there is voter fraud. I would also say there is absolutely voter intimidation as well.
Oh, sure.
And that bothers me more than the other one.
Sure. But
those are just good people trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're going to stand out there with our guns and make everyone feel intimidated when they're walking into the poll booth. It's like, no one needs to do that, right?
You know what I thought was funny? Somebody said they actually got into a fight in Katy. And I'm like, what did you guys get in a fight for? You weren't voting for another bond for another worthless stadium, even though your kids can't read?
Right.
Like, we don't want no more debt in Washington, but you know what? We really need another football stadium out here. I'm like, come on, dude.
We drive through a town going down to Corpus. There's 3,700 people in the town, and that football stadium can hold 10,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a $10 million stadium that they had to bond out on.
Anyway, come on out to Texas and figure out real estate. Thanks a lot. We'll be back.